The Wizard of Oz has become one of the greatest types of book series that's been featured numerous times in different types of media, like the popular 1939 film, and there have been numerous other things to come afterwards, even some that have been based on or loosely based on other books in the series. But in 1961, we actually got an animated series of this. And could you even remember? Well, you're about to. In this episode, do you remember? We're going to talk about Tales of the Wizard of Oz. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews presents Do You Remember? Greetings, my fellow YouTubers. I'm Doyle, the Big D to you. This is Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So this week, well, not just this week, but today I'm going to give you another episode. Do you remember? And today I'm going to be talking about a really fun-filled animated series to be based on one of the greatest books that's ever come out, The Wizard of Oz. And let me tell you, this is one strange but it's kind of strange though with its animation what have you. But still, it's a fun little show. And it's from the company that would later give us Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, many other cartoons, and holiday specials. And later on, shows from the 80s. Sorry, I accidentally said that. And in the forms of Thundercats and Silverhawks. So here it is. I'm going to ask you, do you remember Tales of the Wizard of Oz? Tales of the Wizard of Oz was an animated series originally produced by Videocraft International, which would later be known as Rankin Productions, along with Crowley Films. The series originally premiered in syndication in September of 1961. Now, of course, this series is, of course, based on L. Frank Baum's popular book of The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. And it was the first Rankin-based or Videocraft series to feature traditional animation, although this was their second series after the New Adventures of Pinocchio, which premiered the previous year, which of course used their little stop motion thing called Animagic, which of course would be using their numerous holiday specials, like Rudolph and Santa Claus is Coming to Town. Now, the series features stories derived from characters featured in The Wonderful Wizard of Oz, and several characters are given additional names. Most notably, it'd be the three, characters we meet throughout the world of Oz. The Cowardly Lion is Dandy Lion, that is. Rusty, it the Tin Man, Rusty Tin Man, and as and well, we do know him as a scarecrow, but his name is Socrates Strawman. Now, in this adaptation, rather than being dropped by a tornado, Dorothy and Toe are blown in from Kansas through a hole cut out of the landscape. Each episode is a brief vignette, which is about 3.5 minutes long, about an adventure that the characters are involved in, often centering around the wizard's attempts to fulfill the characters' wishes. Of course, with Scarecrow and trying to get his brains, and Tin Man with the heart, and Lion with courage. Artistic renditions of the Oz characters for this series were later featured in the hour-long television special Return to Oz, which, not to be confused with the Disney film from the 80s. The series was also adapted to a comic book series for a one-shot issue in Dell's 4-color number 1308, running from March to May 1962. Well, now the overall running time would be for almost 5 minutes if you include the show's intro and opening. Well, I mean intro and closing. Excuse me. I got sidetracked again. My mistake. Anyway, I really do think this is a nice little show. Now, I never knew about this show until this show later got to be seen on Looking Communications Retro TV. in the late 2000s, which they aired that usually before their next cartoon when they formerly had the rights to shows from Classic Media, who of course owned this, although which of course is now under license at Universal through DreamWorks Classics. Anyway, there is a lot of funny little shorts, and I think you'll really like them if you give them a try. There's over 110 of these. And some of these episodes can be found on YouTube with or without the intro and closing. I think you'll get a few good laughs out of these as well. I mean, once you see this show, you'll feel like you're on, well, I don't know, some kind of a, I don't know. It's hard to explain, but Tales of the Wizard of Oz, I feel like it's a nice little show. If you are a Wizard of Oz fanatic, I think I think you'll feel right at home with this series, definitely. Now, this actually features some pretty big voice actors. Now, amongst some of them include Carl Banas, who voices the wizard himself. He would later go on to lend his voice to Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, as a matter of fact, where he voiced the foreman elf. He had recently he also was recently the voice of the cricket in the New Adventures of Pinocchio. He also lent his voice to other Saturday morning shows, including some from Rankin Bass, like the King Kong Show and Smokey the Bear Show, along with other tunes like the Marvel Superheroes Show, Rocket Robin Hood, and even the original Spider Man, as well as the Raccoons, which of course was a Canadian cartoon. Now, the way Bass does the wizard, he kind of does the wizard in the style of the voice of legendary funny man W.C. Fields, who was originally supposed to play the titular character in the ever popular 1939 movie with Judy Garland, which of course that was something I forgot to point out and what have you. But I, but of course he does one heck of a job in voicing the wizard himself, and especially uses kind of a little catchphrase that W.C. Fields actually used, calling him Dorothy, who is voiced by Corinne Conley. My little chickadee. Yeah, really funny. Now let's see. Bernard Cowan, another voice actor for Rudolph, who would do the vocal effects for the Bumble, the Spy Elfin, and Clarice's father, and he also lent his voice to Spider-Man, the original series, the Marvel superheroes, Rocket Robin Hood, and the King Kong Show. Did the little gibberish vocal effects for the Munchkins. Other various voices, for various characters include Stan Francis and Peggy Logder. Here's another voice actor for from Rudolph is Paul Kligman, who actually recently voiced Cool as Cat in the New Adventures of Pinocchio. He'd later gone to voice Donner and Comet in Rudolph. And he would later go on to voice J. Jonah Jameson in the original Spider-Man. And also was a voice lent his voice to Marvel superheroes in Rocky Robin Hood as well. Which I forgot to mention, Rocket Robin Hood is another Canadian cartoon. Anyway, Kligman voiced Dandy, who was a very funny character, and the character of Ham. Alfie Scup, another voice actor from Rudolph, voices Socrates Strawman, as well as Robbie the Rubber Man. Yes, that's a pretty interesting character you'll see. Now, let me see here. Yeah, he would go on to voice Fireball and Charlie in the Box in Rudolph. And also, like some of the others, lent his voice to the King Kong show and the original Spider Man cartoon as well. Yeah, he was the longest living member of the cast. of this cast. He passed away just like 3 years ago. He lived a good long life at the age of 101, voicing Rusty Tin Man. Along with Desmond the Dragon and Topsy Turvy is Larry D. Mann, who of course later went on to voice Yukon Cornelius for Rudolph. And of course, he also, let's see, I'm trying to find. He also voiced Foxy Q Fibble in The New Adventures of Pinocchio. Let's see. And he's actually lent his voice to the Groovy Ghoulies and even Fang Face later on. And he would later go on to be the original voice of Crazy Legs Crane in the Patty Freeling's Tijuana Toads, and as the voice of the titular character, that Speedy Serpent, the Blue Racer. And he was also the Wicked Witch. That's right, you heard me correctly. This is kind of an odd first for me, because this is probably one of the earliest tunes where we have a man voicing a female character. And apparently he does a pretty good job in voicing the Wicked Witch. Yeah, but I'm not quite that close to doing that funny laugh like the witch. Yeah, but anyway, Larry D. Mann does an exceptionally good job in voicing both the Wicked Witch and Rusty. Yes, it's just such a fun little series. Now, like I said, there are some full episodes on YouTube. You can check them out there if you would like. You can probably find them on other sites as well. Well, Tubi did have them, but they don't have them anymore. So I think YouTube's your best choice, your best chance to find this little number of a series. You can also find the Return to Oz special as well, although the characters look just a little different than what they do in this series, however. Let me give you a look at some of the characters. Here's a little bit of artwork here with the wizard, Dorothy and Toto. Yeah, Toto's in this as well, and Rusty Tin Man. And here you look at well, you can't see Dandy though, but there's the characters and the wizard, just like in the intro. Here's a better look at Rusty and Socrates and Dandy. Yeah, they can't scare real easily, especially Dandy. Here's a shot of the Wicked Witch. If you want to see the rest of the characters, you're gonna have to see the series. Now, although this series has yet to even be released on DVD, it has not seen the light of day yet on DVD. So you'll have to find it here on YouTube. There may be some other sites with cartoons from long ago that may have it as well. So you may have a good chance with that, but you can check out a lot of these on YouTube. Not many of these episodes are up. A few of them are. And like I said, I think you'll really like this show. If you are a big time Wizard of Oz fan, then you will definitely enjoy Tales of the Wizard of Oz. And there'll be numerous other animated, well, little short subjects or animated telefilms to be based on this. Even the 1970 movie Journey Back to Oz, which was on my rival studio Filmation, which I forgot to point on my in my review of the original film itself, from the film from 1939, excuse me. Margaret Hamilton, who played the Wicked Witch of the West, she actually voiced Aunt Em in the film. Just thought I'd give you a heads up on that too, just in case, because I forgot to point that out yesterday in my re-review of The Wizard of Oz. But like I said, give Tales of the Wizard of Oz a shot. But do you remember this show? If so, let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, consider clicking the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. Continue to help support my channel, make it grow, and make the views grow. Tell all your friends about my channel, give them to know me. Maybe they'd like to be a part of my Big D Nation, or maybe they would like to, I don't know, just check out. And you can share my vids with your friends if you'd like as well. And next time I will have a special spoiler-free review come out. I won't tell you what it is, but I will tell you it's an animated film. So I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, consider checking out my reviews of these other films direct from the world of Oz. The upper left-hand corner is my review of The Wizard of Oz from 1939 itself. The upper right-hand corner is my review of Return to Oz from 1985, or go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of The Wiz from 1978. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe if you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., as well as do you remember that I'm your guy. We'll have another episode coming up for you sometime down the road. So until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.